Okay, Meg Vanen, and welcome to another random film review. This is my review for The Princess on Hulu. This movie stars Jamie King, and I think his name is Dominic Cooper as the villain. Um, and yeah, so basically, this movie is about Jamie King, who's the princess, and she's being forced to marry Dominic Cooper because he wants to rule the kingdom, and he wants to rule with an iron fist. And so she's locked up in like the tower, the highest point of the castle. And the whole thing is she wakes up and she has to make her way down. But of course, there's obstacles in the way. There are the bad men throughout the castle. So actually, she has to fight her way down, to the lower levels. And along the way, she meets up with her old mentor, an Asian woman, who trained her in the art of the sword and just in combat in general. And that's the thing. The fighting in here, well, I thought the overall movie I thought was pretty good. It's a fun one to watch. The fight choreography I thought was also good for the most part. Um, and what I love about it is throughout the whole course of the film, um, it stops after a certain point, but around the halfway point. But we're introduced to flashbacks as to how she learned how to fight. How it like, and each situation when she gets into a fight right before the combat, it will go into she'll reflect on the past, and you'll see that past, how she learned a certain technique from her teacher. Um, and so I thought that was a cool idea. Um, my only issue, I guess, is, and I guess I didn't really like her stance. I mean, maybe it looks okay here, but when you see it in action in the movie, it looked kind of goofy. And to be quite honest, some of her movements and the faces she makes and the noises she makes when fighting are also kind of weird. I thought, I felt that maybe she should have toned some of that down. She almost looked like she was like trying to be tough, but at the same time scared simultaneously, and it just looked very, very weird. Um, so that's I guess really my only complaint. And she's trying to be tough like a man, and that's no problem. You can still fight, tough and gracefully, and still keep your, uh, you know, um, your not look weird. I was gonna say maybe like female composure, but still look beautiful. I'll say, you can still look beautiful at the same time. And just her faces were kind of weird. The noises she made sometimes were kind of weird. One such instance is where she did a running charge and charged the guy right off the edge of the of the you know uh, just right off the edge of something, and they went falling, and the noise, she gives out like this scream, and it just was, she looked kind of like goofy, and it sounded goofy. The Asian chick fought very, very well. I mean, you can tell maybe she has experience in this, or she, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee kind of thing. She moved beautifully and gracefully. Sometimes with Jamie King, like I said, it can be a little bit clunky. Uh, uh, I thought a couple of the standout fights were when after she slid down the sewer and got to the jail area. There are guards there playing a drinking game, and she fought them, and I thought that was pretty well done. And the other one was very close near the end, where several henchmen were running at her, and it was a double team up between her and her Asian mentor, and they fought. That whole fight sequence I thought was great and very well choreographed. Pretty cool too. Might be small bits, very short bits where it started to look a little goofy again due to her weird kind of movements. When she fought, there's a woman in here who fought with a whip with a blade at the end, a retractable blade. I thought that was a good fight between Jamie or the princess and her. And yeah, if there's ever a sequel to this, I could take it or leave it. It doesn't have to have a sequel, but if there is, it would be also kind of neat just to see the whole world kind of opened up, because, like I said, the whole movie just takes place in that castle. What this kind of reminded me of was Game of Death, which stars Bruce Lee, partially stars Bruce Lee, and then they used, a double to fill in the majority of the film. He was only in the last 20 minutes, but the whole original premise of that film was Bruce Lee was supposed to fight his way up a pagoda. In each level of the pagoda, there's a different level of a villain he had to fight, going up and up. And that was the whole premise. It was supposed to be some philosophical kind of film, I don't know if philosophical is the word for it, but sort of like, it had like a meaning to it. And the difference here is where Bruce Lee had to fight his way up the pagoda. It's like she's fighting her way down from the tower, So that was pretty neat, I thought. A pretty neat concept. So overall, I would give The Princess 7. I'll say a 7.25. Okay, so that's it. Hope you all enjoyed, and see ya.